Okay, so a second video around coffee extraction and trying to get the best out of your coffee. Now, earlier we did an example of where the grind is wrong and the difference whereby the grind is too coarse of the coffee to where the grind is absolutely perfect, so you get a perfect extraction and great flavor. The second issue that can happen with what we call bean-to-cup coffee machines, or not bean-to-cup coffee machines so much, but grind-on-demand grinders, is that they don't actually dose the right amount of coffee. So I'm going to give you a little extreme example here. So we do the setting knowing, I'm doing a setting which I know is wrong, okay? So, and effectively the grind is going to cut out before it's filled the group handle, but I see this many, many times in coffee shops. Somebody thinks, oh, that'll be fine, I'll tamp it down and we'll make a coffee. So, here we go. So the first thing we kind of notice is the rate at which the water is traveling through the coffee is very, very high, and that's because the water is pushing the coffee out of the way. And then the second thing we notice is that we get no crema. We have a tiny, skinny little crema. In fact, if you look at this one and this one, there's not much difference between them in terms of the extraction. So here the extraction was an issue around the grind, here it's an issue around the amount of coffee that's been used. Now, when I take the group handle out, the other telltale secret which tells you I haven't got enough coffee is what we call sloppy grounds. Everything's really, really sloppy. And when I knock it away, again, it just slathers everywhere. It's just a complete mess. If you have that, you know immediately that you haven't used sufficient ground coffee to make your coffee. This time I'm going to use the correct amount of coffee on my dose. So I grind this up. Okay, you notice much more coffee obviously in the group handle, and we pop that into our machine, and then we pop that into the coffee. So immediately we see the flow of the water is much, much slower. We can see a much higher degree of crema coming through the coffee as well. And now when I stop this, I pulled my shots, just draw a comparison between using the correct amount of ground coffee and the incorrect amount of ground coffee. So again, chalk and cheese on the drinks, and that's the difference between a great cup of coffee and something that's going to taste like dishwater. So just in summary, we have two areas here. One is using the right amount of coffee. The second one is grinding the coffee correctly to the correct fineness. Both are equally important, and both you have to kind of play with both of them to ultimately get the perfect cup of coffee. I hope that's of value to everybody who's in the coffee business.